Hello and happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to the last video of 2025. We are deep, about as deep as spherical objects inside the process of making this portal. And I think it's time to go ahead and finish said process. You know, I mean, time's a-wasting, we're burning daylight, you know, we are combusting sunshine, many things, right? Yeah, it's almost 2026. That's not a year that it should be allowed to be. That's not the kind of number that a year should be. I'm firmly against the passage of time. Let's just say it that way, you know? So whatever comes next, you know, it shouldn't be it shouldn't be a different year than it is ever. That's just, it should be illegal, you know? They should outlaw it, and then we stop having New Year's, you know? It's a social construct. It's totally possible. We could stop having New Year's, you know? It could just be 2023 in perpetuity. That's a perfectly reasonable solution. But, you know, there are some benefits, some upsides, some positivenesses to the passage of time. I can't think of any right now, but I'm sure there are some. No more lava, eh? Weird. Okay. Well, I mean, now I'm left to decide whether I should go and try to find more stalagmadoodles, or whether I should just work with the supply that I have currently. But something tells me that this supply needs to expand significantly. So let's just go with what we have, and then we can start exploring new passageway once we start baking this copper, because I do have big plans for the copper, you know. All coppers are jobbers. Let's see. What am I saying? That was a silly thing to say. Let's see. What's this now? What's this now? One of you has coal. I know one of you has some leftover coal. I know one of you has some leftover coal. Not even a single one of you has leftover coal. It's kind of sad, you know? Do better. And speaking of doing better, dear viewer, reflect, you know? What have you personally done for poison spiders this year? What have you done? You know? And ask yourself further, if it was something, you know, can you do more? How much more can you do, right? Because however much more you can do is the correct amount to do for poison spiders, you know? I mean, they do so much for us. They make their little noises. They have numerous legs, you know? Their appendages are adorable. Yeah, so it's honestly selfish. It's honestly reprehensible and selfish to, you know, not do as much as you possibly can for them, you know? They're the only thing that matters, really. When you get right down to it, the only thing in this life that truly matters is them and their continued survival and joy. Joy, yes. Deeply, yes. So, like, there's all of that. How I feel like that needs... I feel like I just want it all to be in the same orientation. And then we're gonna need more torches, you know? We're gonna need more torches, we're gonna need more stuff. I think one of the things I might do is set up a kelp grow-up, you know, an operation centered around growing kelp. Yeah. I mean, stalagmites, I can get them to grow, I think. Although I've just realized I actually do have I do have an approach. I do have one thing I can do for this end. But once again, I'm going to need torches. So once again, I'm going to need my kelp farm, and the one place that I can think that would be good to have the kelp farm feed directly into would be a chest directly on top of that composting, the auto composter, I guess I'm calling it. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's make the chest, right? You know, I talk a big game. I'm always talking about chest, and, you know, do I make more? Well, currently, yes. You know, I'm working on it. You know, I'm working on it. Have a little patience. You know, show some respect. Dun dun dun. Here we go. Okay, well, if I want kelp, I think I'm gonna have to go back upstairs. Alright. That's fine, though. That's fine. There's nothing really dangerous there. There's a creeper. So I have been thinking, can creepers be plants? I have one argument against creepers being plants, although I still maintain that, what's his name? The game theory guy, Ryan Gosling, is correct, and that creepers are indeed a type of plant, but in the notes, in the intro card in Minecraft, they do say that creepers were born from a coding bug. And I remember the story of, you know, back in the day when, well, when Notch first made Minecraft, you know, may he rest in peace. The original situation was that creepers spawned from, oh yeah, from pigs. It was pigs. Little piggies. It was something where the orientation of the body block was off by 90 degrees, and the feet were still placed at the bottom. So you just take a pig, you turn the torso 90 degrees up, and then you basically have a creeper from there. So I thought that was kind of a neat little anecdote. Yeah, I don't know. What did I want? I wanted three grass blocks. I wanted this, more cherry blossoms, more bamboo, maybe more bamboo, definitely watermelon seeds. I want as many watermelons growing down there as possible. And then that stuff is fine, this is fine. Very soon, I'm going to be posting a couple of versions of a song I've been recording. So stay tuned for that, just to round out your new year. That will be uploaded for people who follow on Patreon, whether it's the free tier or paid. So you can check it out there for free. All you need to do is follow. And I think you'll enjoy it. It's pretty cool. And of course, as always, it'll come out published on YouTube, just like everything else, in 2 weeks, so mid-January. So, you know, if you have patience, you know, fuck you, how could you, you know? But I understand. Patience is good in many cases. In most cases, I would argue patience is probably one of the good things, you know, one of those good things one can have. So, you know, I won't resent it too much, but only a little bit. There is one thing I want here, which is, well, I know where that's supposed to be, so I'll be able to replace that. So we can take this, and we can take this, and we can make that, and then it's just a question of, what can I do next? I could make this into sticks, or I could throw out one piece of flint and leave it there for now. But I realized I was missing some details on the eyeball. You know, an eyeball needs a pupil. So we're going to start with a little bit of a dirt bridge just to get over here and not mess up my cropland. But I'm thinking so that it shows up on this background, the eyeball's pupil will be here, and then I'll just add, you know, an extra pupil, give it a little bit of a cosmic horror vibe, you know, so it's just like a little different, you know. It doesn't all have to be like super normal. It can be like a weird eyeball with a double pupil thing sort of going on, or maybe there's like another eyeball growing out of it. Yeah, so I think that's pretty neat. I think that'll be pretty chill. I think it'll be pretty nifty. Yeah, and then, I don't know, we're just gonna grow more potatoes, gonna grow more kelp, all these things, you know, all these things. But, one of the things that I can do, oh, that's sketchy. Yeah, that definitely won't cause me any troubles. Okay, here we go. I do want to do something with this area. I love this little pool, but right now it's just emptying it out onto like a shelf of gravel and then terminating. So I either want to make it like actually stop there as a proper pool, or sort of cascade down the walls of this chasm. Cascade down the walls of this chasm. Or even to cascade down the walls of this chasm. One of those three things. Maybe all three of those things. Those three distinct separate things that are unique from one another. Okay, let's get in there. Hopefully there's no one coming to ambush me. Oh no. That looked like an ambush. Hello, ambusher. Get ambushed. Get ambushed upon by me now, you know? Is it still an ambush if he knows that it's coming? Well, no, it's not, but... Don't be mean. Don't be mean to me. No, bully me. You know? Girl who is about to get bullied voice. Alright, so here's this. Here's that. Here's that. Here's that. What was it? This is the most important thing, really. I mean, that's where I want to start with all this. So there is that. And then the other thing I want to add is just to skip some of the time it's going to take to like make everything grow over. How did that grow there? I don't know. Anyway, so there's gonna be grass on this side too. And then the only other place that I want to like introduce grass to is like all the way down there, but I don't really have a clear enough route anyway to do anything with that. So I think I'm gonna leave it as is. But eventually I will throw a grass block down there. It's just going to be a question of when, you know? It's just a question, just a matter of time, baby. It's just a matter of time. It's going to happen. You know, it's going to happen. It's going to occur. It's going to be occur, baby. And then, okay, well, that's only one bucket of lava. I think they might have reduced the rate at which new lava generates. It doesn't change the underlying mechanic, really. I mean, it's still an infinite source of lava. Eventually, you will, you know, get back there, but, I don't know. We'll see. So, one of the things I could do is I could put it here, and then it'll just go straight down, I hope. That's almost right. Okay, whatever. I don't quite understand that behavior, but, well, it works, you know. That one will be filled in last, because that's going to throw everything all over the place, but I can probably put lava block there, 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 and then one here. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be a little tricky. That's going to be a little tricky. It might be better to do it from, like, above, or maybe I could even, like, fill in a little bit of a volume here, so I have the water flowing this way, and then just sort of fill in lava blocks along that path. But Yeah, regardless, I'm still gonna have to go. I can at least do these 3 blocks and this block. So we'll get there. We'll get there. But it can just happen in the background, you know? And we'll make like other quality of life improvements and just like build this up a little bit over time. Over time, baby. Over the course of time, which is a free course offered by the universe for, well, just for being alive, for the low, low price of enduring a human existence, which, some would argue is an extremely high price. But, yeah, they've got a point. They've really got a point there. So, we'll see the course of time. It's a good course. I can't recommend it, but it's an excellent course. It teaches you a lot about poison spiders and the absence thereof, how to endure the auspices of fate, and all those things. So, yeah. Okay, well, I mean, I guess I'm just going to have my kelp growing straight up through here, and then I'm going to dig straight down, because that's like the correct way to do everything, I think. There's no way this could go wrong. No, this is definitely going to end well for me. Let's try. Is that a good idea? I mean, we'll end up creating some cobblestone around the bottom of that lava ball. This is going to be messy, isn't it? I feel like there's no non-messy way at this point, unless I just abandon the task as is and reorient. I could actually just do this differently than I originally planned. It feels like a superpower when you have certain mental problems, to be able to abandon a task that you've started. But once you learn how, it's actually like so freeing. You realize that like you can just do things differently than you originally planned. I know, to anyone who doesn't have those particular problems, this will sound like absolute crazy talk, but it's really helpful. It's really helpful. And then we'll just keep like one for you, one for me, one for you, one for me, with all this charcoal, and then once the copper is done, we'll bake some potatoes, we'll expand the cropland, we're going to make it all nice. This is going to be a cool little place. You'll see. I have to realize that a lot of times people don't see like the vision of what I'm trying to build. They just see like what I've actually put down in blocks on the ground. And there's like so many versions of that in creative process. It's honestly like it can be a little depressing sometimes, because you see like what you meant to do, and then you see the quality of like what you actually produced, and it's like night and day, and you're like, but sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes what you actually produced is way better than what you imagined, and in those cases, all you can really do is just pretend that you meant it that way the whole time. And then the only other thing I can think of is I definitely want a stone cutter, and I can't honestly remember if I have made a stone cutter here. Hello. Okay, so these originally were created from pigs, apparently. So on an ancestral level, they are literally descended from piggy pigs, from little porkers. So that's an interesting, sort of question. Can they be both? Maybe, it's some kind of parasitic plant that has infected the mind and body of a pig. I mean, of course, the face is not on the side that you would expect it to be. And it is just like a dark void. So it's possible that you're seeing a window into the skull or something. Pigs have like the little snout, and creepers don't have a snout. So what happened there? Was it like ripped out? Did it blow off in some kind of explosion? You know, these are all questions one could ask if one was like furiously obsessed with the origin of creepers. And I feel like Minecraft Darwin would be a great person to meet and talk to, you know, about his book on the origin of creepers. Oh no. Oh, that's gonna have consequences. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be fine. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter, right? We'll get these torches, pick these torches back up. At least the grass hasn't been compromised by this whole situation. So that's something to be grateful for, I think. You know what else is something to be grateful for? You know? Well, most things. You know, most things I think we can find it in our hearts to have some gratitude for. Except for all the bad stuff, you know? Most things except for all the bad stuff. I think that's like pretty much covers it all. So wait a second. I wanted this, I wanted this, I wanted to do this. That's what I wanted to do. And then I have like a little bit of food to work with, and I have a little bit more coal to work with. And then, yeah, we'll have some stone, we'll have a little bit of stone. And then we'll use that to make a stone cutter. And then you'll never guess what we're going to use the stone cutter to make. You'll never guess. It's impossible to guess. What is guessing? I barely know her. I think the raw material that you have to put in for the stone cutter is copper blocks. You'll never guess what I'm going to make out of these copper blocks. You'll never guess. You'll never even guess what I'm going to make out of these copper blocks. You'll never guess. It's impossible to guess. That's right, copper grates. Because I think they're great. Do they stop water, actually? I hope they stop water. Well, we'll find out. Here we go. And then, so that's like that. And then we're going to dig down. So one of the things I could do is actually, I could just... I mean, it won't need to stop the flow of water if I'm only... Well, I can just go down to this layer. Okay. Now the question is, can I get away with this? I think I should be at full hunger. I see one block there, so I'm gonna just guess that that's okay. And then I can see one more block. I can go down, and then it's like... I just want to figure out which block this is. Do I have any gravel? I do. It's that one exactly. Okay, that's fine. Then what I can do from here is I can actually pile up with the gravel, and then I have enough extra coal to do some torches. So let's just do some torches. Make, you know, the progress we can make rather than the progress we want to make in the long run. You know, just start where we are, you know? It's the only place you can start. Oh, really, honestly, truly, hello, you're a douche. Get out of here. Get out of here. No, no, no. No, no, no. I see you. Well, I don't actually see you, which actually is way more concerning than if I did see you. That's really concerning. Hello. Hello. Oh, he's being a... Okay, well, nothing I can do about that, I think. Except... Oh! Is everything down there? No! I had a clean shot. Oh, come on. What a douche. What the douche. The douchka. Look at this. Okay, that's fine. We can go ahead and brighten this up. Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. That's not where I wanted to go at all. That's not even where I wanted to go. That's the opposite of where I want it to go completely. Well, this is fun. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Okay, so, this is going not as well as I'd hoped, because now I'm at the bottom of this hole, and, it's dark down here. It's scary. You know, there are numerous things that I don't much appreciate about this particular hole. But, I'm still gonna make the best of it, because, like, why not? Ugh, I should not be taking this long to do this. Okay, there we go. So, now, we know that a source of water going down lead to a source of water going up, and we should probably just account for the possibility that the water flows out from that point and make a little step down for that. And then while we're at it, let's just make this an infinite source as well, because, like, why not? Why the heck not? Pardon my language, or don't. You know, I don't care. I'm too cool to worry about that. Oh wait. Darn it. Oh no. Sorry, I didn't mean to say I was too cool to worry about that. Alright, so now that I've apologized profusely, it's time. It's time. It's time to go up. And then, yeah, we'll carry on with this kelp production sort of thing. Yeah, I understand this isn't the most efficient design for a kelp farm. This is, though, like, the barest, simplest, most straightforward version that I can get done, like, right away. And right now that's kind of, like, all I'm thinking of, is, like, A to B. What's the quickest way to do that? So, here we go. Because at some point what I can do is I can create a redstone contraption that will, I can just flip a lever and this thing will lower down. Oh, there is one other thing though, because I want on top of this, how did I want this to go? I actually want this to be like, I want the kelp to go down onto this hopper, and then I want the hopper to lead straight to the composter, and then I want the composter to lead straight here. I could interrupt it with another chest and another hopper, but that doesn't really seem like practical or even necessary. So let's not do it that way. Let's just not do it that way, right? I mean, why not? It's just I can't actually... I guess I can block off the water source and then go out by going down. Let's try that. Let's try that. Right? Why the heck not? Why the absolute heck not? So it would be at this level where it'll like flow over, and then I have to check if it's flowed over and taken out my potatoes. I hope not. And whether it's, oh. That's bad, but it's not that bad. Okay, so then, what's the other thing we need? I need to pee really badly. 1 second. Okay, I think the first thing I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna make a shovel. Actually, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make another sword, because I don't really have enough, enough sword left to, like, shake a stick at, if you want to say it that way. If you want to be crass, you know? You want to be crass. You know, well, that's just your prerogative. So, that's what that is. But, if you don't want to be crass, and you want to be a good person, a good girl, even, you know, then you wouldn't say it that way. You'd say it in a different way. So, those are my feelings. Here we go. So then what we're going to do is we're going to dig down, we're going to eat, and then we're going to dig down. We're going to eat, and then a little diggy diggy, a little diggy diggy, you know, a little as they say, diggy. Diggy. Okay, so now there's this. We're gonna take a little damage. That's okay though. You know, most people are a little damaged. It's just a fact of life, you know. And the sooner you deal with that, the sooner you deal with the eels, the numerous eels, you know, that will inevitably be a part of your life. You know, as a human type person, assuming you are a human type person, which I feel like is a fair. I feel like that's a fair assumption, but you know, you never know these days. HR, you know, they'll be like, oh, you went and assumed everybody was human. You know, I mean, some people are, I guess, an artificial intelligence, maybe. You know, when we actually get to that point, it'll be impossible to tell exactly the moment. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm giving it too much credit, but it does kind of feel like eventually something like that will transpire, will occur. Yeah. You know? And at some point, yeah, we will be having that argument of like, who's real, who's not real, right? You know, the CAPTCHA's like, are you a robot? You know, it's no joke. Copper bars. Here we go. Is that a non-efficient way to make copper bars? Let's check. Okay, you can't make copper bars through this, so that's good to know. I definitely want some of this. I definitely want a lot of this. Is that all I want, though? I think that's all I want for now. What do I want it for? I don't know. You know, I don't know. I don't know. You know, how am I supposed to know what I want? You know, this tyranny. You know, you expect me to know what I personally want? Draconian. Not okay with that at all. So, there is that. We can leave that there. We can pick this up, right? A solid state storage for an individual block of water doesn't seem that useful, because it isn't. You know? Because it isn't. Okay, so what are we after? I remember. I definitely remember. And furthermore, beyond that, I also remember. We want this. Nice, okay, so that does work. That's very good. That's good to know. So let's try that. Okay, that doesn't change anything. Okay, well then that's good, because what we're going to do is we're going to get this one, and then this one. Okay, something annoying just happened. What was it that was annoying that just happened? We lost all of the lighting in this area that needs to be well lit for now. Because of one hiccup. But we will persevere. We want that one. What's the next one? Do we want that one? Do we want to go here? 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 I guess that's what's going to happen. That's just what's going to happen. So it's going to go with that spillway, and then it's going to go into there. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. And I'll put this here, and that'll be cute. You know, just a nice little like icing, little candle on the icing cake, or whatever you say. And then I still haven't found any more stalagmites, but well, you know, I have a sneaking suspicion. I have a sneakable suspicion that we will find such. So actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna leave this here because I think it looks neat. Why don't I do that? We can do that, we can do that, and then we can do this, and then we can do this. And so I do want to keep these stairs the way that they are. So I'm gonna actually have to deal with this instead of that, and then probably at some point I'm gonna have to move the bed, but I'm gonna like be very careful about the way that I do that so I don't lose, you know, having a spawn point at all in the process. Oh, it's too far away. Okay. Alright. Okay, alright, that's silly. Is my tea the right temperature? Am I checking it? You know? Ooh, that's good. It's hot and sweet and green. Everything that you want in Fiona. Yeah, that's her name. There we go. Yeah, not enough people, talk about Fiona on a regular basis, like obsessively. I feel like she's kind of a baddie. She deserves more credit. Oh, you think you're smart. You think you're a smart little skeleton. I'll get you. I'll get you. I'll get you. I'll get you. Here's a little trick I learned in Dark Souls, okay? It's called always check your blind spot. Alright. Hello. This is great. I have so many friends here. Hello. Hello. Hello, sweet muffin. Who's a sweet muffin? Who's a sweet muffin, baby? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Who's a sweet little muffin, baby? Hello. Didn't really work out for you, did it? Are you happy with yourself? Are you pleased? Are you glad? Are you glad you chose to fuck with me? Hello, Goldie. Alright. How many bones did I get out of that? 3? Okay, what are we up to next? Well, I think we've got the kelp growing. But yeah, I mean, when it only floats up if it's contained. So I am gonna have to make like a column to contain it, and then a mechanism to break it. So I'm gonna need at least a piston. Pardon my language, but that is the word for that. So I think I can be forgiven. I think it's this. Oh my goodness, do I remember the recipe for a piston? Does she remember the recipe for a piston? She better. Oh no, okay. Well, I was one off on my first attempt. I think that's not too bad. I think I can be forgiven. I've decided I can be forgiven by myself, because like no one else's judgment really is applicable in this situation. So there is that. I don't, however, have any slime. No slime. I'm a slimeless girl, What kind of girl has no slime? It's a sad reality, It's a sad reality not to have any slime. But then again, I feel like if I check carefully, I might be able to find some. So, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm sure that'll come around. It'll happen. It'll occur. It'll even maybe occur. So, I think it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be fine. I think you shouldn't worry about it, dear viewer. I think you should stop freaking out about every little thing. Every little thing you seem to freak out about, obsessively. It's a little weird, to be honest. So, yeah. Not that I'm giving you a hard time, you're the one doing it to yourself by freaking out about everything, dear viewer. Keep losing your mind over every little thing, and at a certain point, it just stops being brat, it stops being kitsch, it stops being everything that you're hoping to achieve with it. So, yeah, just calm down, calm down, even. Those 3 distinct, separate things. All of them, in fact. So I don't know if that's actually gonna... Oh yeah, no, a torch directly under the... That seems great. Okay, so we have 3 bones. That's enough to, like, expand our lighting situation just a bit. Because I definitely want this to be lit. And I definitely want this to be lit. So that's a start. And then I'll hold on to the rest of the bone meal. Because, like, why not? Why not? You know, why not? Even. And then the other thing is I'm definitely going to want that ledge to be more well lit, because it's like somewhere I go pretty regularly. I know you're there. I know you're there. I know you're there. I died from that? Ugh. Alright. What do I do? Is that... Oh, they're not growing yet. Darn it. Pardon my language. I'm so sorry for swearing. I'm so sorry for swearing. Literally, I'm so sorry. Literally, I am remorseful for swearing. Where are you? I'm also sorry for my violent language and ideas. You know, deeply, deeply sorry. So, sorry for a lot of things, you know? Sorry for almost everything that's ever happened in my life. Okay. We might have to come up with a more effective strategy than this. Or not. Well, no. Ugh, I thought I saw a creeper there. It scared the poop out of me. It scared the living poop out of me right now. Alright. You know, Albert Einstein once said, "The bravest among us repeat their mistakes over and over and over again, and that's why they're cool and awesome." That's what he said. And he was right. Yeah, I know, you're shooting at me. So cool. You know, so interesting. So chic. So panache. You know, so original. You've really got, you know, you've really understood the assignment. Oh, there's 3 of you. Wow. That's like so sexy even. Okay. Oh, there's 3 of them. Well, there's 1 of me. Deleted. No! Not deleted, not deleted! Undeleted! Ellie! Come back, Ellie! Come back, Ellie, sister! You meant everything to me! Come back, Ellie's other sister! Oh, hello. I see you. I literally see you. You're not being sneaky. Come on. What are you doing here? What are you doing? Come on. You know, grow up. Grow up, Mr. Digitally Simulated Zombie in this game that I'm playing. You know? Grow up. Mature emotionally, you son of... something. Okay, so then there's like a little bit more of my items there, which is good, because that includes like pants and other stuff. I have this, I have that. I can probably just repair my sword and save an inventory slot. And then axe is always useful, shovel's always useful. That's what I'm working with right now. Oh, fart off. I don't even need you right now. I don't even need your input. I don't even need your input. I don't even need your creativity in this situation, in this juncture. You know? It's not what I'm looking for. It's not my interest right now. You know? It's not my interest. It's not what I'm interested in. It's not my thing. You know? It's just not my, my thing. You know? You can try to provide your creative, whatever, but, it's not my thing. Yeah, well, you do that dance up there. I'm gonna get some stuff done, you know? Get some stuff done. Eat some of your corpses, to be honest. So, there's that. You know? Do the zombies find me unsettling? I feel like they like me. I feel like they think I'm interesting. I feel like they're like, you know, she's just like us. You know, deep down, we ain't so different, and they respect me for that. I think the zombies really like me, actually. I think they're always trying to, like, get my autograph or my signature or whatever. I think that's what's going on. I think that's the dynamic between us. I've decided, you know? I have decided that it's a positive relationship with no problematic implications at all. You know, problematic. I barely know her. Oh, fuck off. There's always someone, you know? There's always someone in some situation or another. I am attacking you, you know? You could at least pretend to be damaged. Would be nice. You know, would be appreciated. Really, deeply, sincerely, I would appreciate it if you would, you know, receive some damage. But that was nice. That was convenient. Everyone kind of jumped right into this little alley here, so that was good. The only thing I can think is I definitely want my health to regenerate a little faster. Do I have anything for that? I guess I could make some bread. I could get bread on the way home, is one of the things I could do. But for now, that's not really what I want. What I want is to light up the upper region of this chasm to limit the number of ambushes I experience while I'm climbing this. Should I just make an easier path for myself? Probably. Probably. You know, am I going to? Well, it remains to be seen. You know, it's part of the tension and drama. You know, I'm an entertainer, not a interscleener. Oh fuck. Oh come on. Hello. Oh come on now. Oh, don't be silly. Don't be silly. Literally, don't even be silly. Don't be silly. Hello. Oh, where are you? What is that? What was that? Yeah, what was that? There was definitely something. Oh, there's another skeleton up there, eh? I'm really gonna need more arrows to deal with all this. Do I have any more food? No? Then I think it's probably best to beat a retreat. You know, to beat off a retreat. Let's go ahead and do that. I feel like beating off a retreat is probably the smartest thing I can do right now. You know? You know what they say about, you know? Well, they say a lot of things. And maybe they should stop sometime. Just appreciate the silence. So we got no more lava. That's been a while. It's been quite a long moment. Okay, so why am I not adding more fencing here? Because I want that cherry tree to grow. I mean, obviously it doesn't seem like it's really desirous to, but like it really wants to, but you know, it's gonna eventually. Better be sooner rather than later. No, I mean, the sooner I place the copper pieces, even if I don't like their current placement, the sooner they oxidize. And I'm really after that, like, nice blue-green sort of color they come around to. We'll get there. We'll get there. We also want more arrows, you know, so this is like an incentive to go and deal with the skeletons, but what I really need is like a skelly spawner. In fact, I think I'm just going to go ahead and check. I mean, I also could use the bone meal to grow more potatoes, but I could also just straight up expand my potato farm, and I think I'm gonna favor that strategy, because like you can always make more cropland. It gets a lot harder to I don't know, to grow like faster. But I think what I'm gonna expand into, I'm gonna expand into this hallway. So then it's just gonna be like a short skip down, and then once you're in this hallway, then there's like loads of room. So it's just like what it is. Yeah, let's do that. Right, because I mean we can put grass down here, we can make it all cozy, you know. There's the poison spiders right there, you know. Everything's like kind of coming up Millhouse, you know. It's kind of coming up like Millhouse. It's kind of coming up like Millhouse. Everything is coming up Millhouse. Yeah. So whatever, you know. Whatsoever, you know. Other sounds, other noises, you know. Other things, you know. What that mouth do, you know. Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Discuss the virtues of poison spiders, you know, curse, you know, generously. That's pretty much, that's most of it. Okay, if you know what I mean. You know, it's not the full extent of my powers. My mouth powers. But, you know, that's a topic for another time, you know, for another time on this channel specifically. For a different time on this channel specifically. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about that kind of mouthing off on this channel. But, you know, we'll find a way. We'll find a way, you know, through oblique references, you know, and slantwise illusions, and little sentence completion games, you know. We'll find a way to discuss all types of jobs. Yeah, from moth to poison spider to, you know, various adjectives, various verbs. You know, I know the difference, you know. Not many people know the adjective difference verb, but I know it. Me and the adjectives, we're like best friends. You know, we're like girl best friends. Me and the adjectives, me and the verbs, we're like, you know, me and the adjectives and the verbs separately. We have like an understanding. We get together, you know, we get together. You know what I mean? We get together. Yeah, in a certain sort of a sense. In a certain sort of a sense, we get together, me and the verbs and the adjectives, and we're all just like there, and we're like, wow, it's great. It's great. It's literally great. So, much to think about, much to consider, much to consider, you know, much to conspire. So yeah. I think I can make some potato beds in here. I think this is fine. This is a good place for my potatoes to sleep, you know? Okay, so here's what we're doing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay, and then we have this, obviously, is going to be an important component of the whole thing. And then we're going to want this and this. We're going to want to collect that. And then we're going to want, well, is this a good place for this individual stone block? Sure. Why not? You know, why not? You know, why not even? Why not? You know, what reason do we have for that activity? You know, why not? Scholars have been asking this question. You know, weird scholars have been asking this question. And I think they have a right to. I think they have every right to. So, yeah. Oh, no. Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. No. That's fine. Whatever, okay? Whatever. That's fine. Do we have... Oh, we don't have room for that many buckets. Okay, whatever, okay? You know, stop overthinking it, dear viewer. Stop overthinking it. Stop overthinking it. Stop overthinking it. You silly person. You silly, you know, presumably human being, you know, but no judgment, you know. You can be any manner of, you know, post-dimensional entity. It's okay, you know. Yeah, you know, Symbiosis is a title that one can choose for oneself, you know. Am I starting a cult? People are asking me this, you know. Numerous people, you know, with a normal number of limbs are asking me this. And the answer is, yeah, heck yeah, you know, heck yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah, even. Pardon my language, you know, pardon my splanguage. Spartan my language, you know, Spartan my language. Here we go. And then that, and then, well, I could grow watermelon. I could grow some watermelon. I've got watermelon to keep me sane. It's working. She lied. Okay. And then do we have more potatoes? No, we don't. But what we can do is we can start, yeah, just throwing up some glowberries here and there. Start throwing up some glowberries. Start blurling up some glowberries all over the place. Start blurling them up. And then work our way from there. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like those cobwebs are probably in an appropriate place. I feel like that's fine. I feel like that's okay. I feel like that's fine. I feel like there's no problem with the placement of those cobwebs. It kind of prevents, you know, certain creatures, certain little compost-based entities from jumping on and then hence-wise destroying that nice area. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab some lily pads. Because, oh yeah, and then I'm going to get... I wonder if my potatoes have grown now. Have my potatoes grown big and strong and lovely? Not yet. Darn it. Okay, well, you know, we're going to get there. We're going to get a food source going. Did we get him? Oh, we got him. We shot him. That's okay. Okay, well, let's see if we can get... Oh, well. Yeah, definitely not if we do that. Definitely not if we do that. Oh, this is gonna be great. Oh, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be so fun. It's not at night yet. It's evening. I can tell the sun's going down. It's about to get more dangerous. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Was it worth it? I don't think so. Oh yeah, wonderful. Great. Okay, well, let's try and survive. I mean, if we experience anything right now, we're doomed. Let's torch this area. Do I have a sword? I have a fishing rod. That's my most dangerous weapon right now, a fishing rod. And shears. Well, you know, you gotta work with what you have. Oh, there's my boo. There's my who. There's my cheval. Let's try this. Can we light this up properly? There's my habal. My hebel. Do I have any food? No, that was the inciting incident for this whole thing, was I didn't have any food. Okay, and then sword. Sword, sword, sword. There's some furnaces. I know that's like 10 furnaces. It's not like the most valuable thing in the world, but it's kind of like, it's an investment. What about this? What's going on down here? Did the sword maybe disappear into this location? where's my, my lovely girlfriend here? I don't see my sword here. I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually see my sword here. This doesn't feel like the place where my sword is. But, I think I'm doomed anyway. So, that's fun. Alright. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna make a smart decision for once in my life. Now I'm gonna bring some tools with me. And I'm gonna bring some of my more important tools with me. And I'm gonna bring, you know, some of this with me. And then, do I have any iron? Do I have any iron? No, but I do have some arrows. This might be... I mean, that's some low quality armor right there. But we have got this and this. You know, let's go meet the old lady. You know, let's go meet the old lady. Okay, well, there's my glowberry. That's good. You know, that's something. Did we lose any other tools in here? What's down here? Oh, what's down there? Oh! What? Oh, that's rather fetching. I've been looking for that. Okay, where's my glowberry? There's my sword. How did I miss that? That's so cool. That's so cool. Well, because as soon as you find a geode, and with Silk Touch, okay, so this is the question. Do I risk all of my... no, I gotta get my items. I gotta get my items. And then I gotta get my items. But let's try this, okay? I want this. That takes a really long time to acquire. I thought that that would harvest faster. I don't know why I thought it would harvest faster, but I thought it would harvest faster than it did. I really thought it would harvest faster than it did. Okay, are we done? Are we really, like, sincerely done now? There we go. Okay, so that's fine. You know, there's really nothing more romantic than cutting your girlfriend's hair. I hope that's her hair anyway. Okay, you know, I've gotten some pretty valuable loot right now. I feel like not risking my entire life for the rest of it at this exact moment. I feel like getting to higher ground and to safety, and then working my way from there. Because the one thing I can do is, I mean, the game doesn't really think of it this way, which is understandable, I suppose, but this is also a storage medium. And what do I mean by this? I mean, actually, you know what, let's go down here, see if we can find the location of that entrance to the geode again. What is that? I mean, I understand how I missed it, actually, because that's, like, not very... Yeah, that's not at all obvious. That's very cool. Okay, well, there's some bones. Let's go ahead and make some light happen in here so that I can see what I'm doing. And then we can put this down right? We don't really need 10 furnaces all at once in the whole inventory. Solid state storage. Solid state storage. We can store that. We can store that. We can store this. We can store this. And then I don't know if you can store this, but that's a good thing to store because that's important. And then I want at least one of these. Actually, I forget. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to leave these because you can't harvest these with Silk Touch. But I do like the crystals. I think they're cool and I want them. Oh no! Oh, tell me that one wasn't a source. Scare the crap out of myself sometimes, you know? Okay, so what I'm really trying to store then is I'm trying to store this shovel. And then what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to, like, swap out my armor for my stronger armor. And that should be, like, really obvious. That should be one click. Okay, and then I'm going to try and get back, you know, everything that I lost still. But, we'll see if that works. I mean, honestly. Okay, so now we've got glowberries. How many glowberries do we have? 3? That's enough. Yeah, that's enough. All we need is like a little bit of lighting in that area to kind of make a safe start. And now we gotta rush. Because I don't know. I mean, definitely there's still stuff there. I saw stuff there still. But, I don't know if there's any chance that it still survived after all that. So let's go there. And then there. Now I can actually, you know, see my girlfriend's beautiful face. Look at her. Isn't she wonderful? Yeah, I mean, I did trim her bush a little bit, so I hope she's not mad at me for that. But, and then the other thing is, I wonder if you can actually harvest the... I wonder if you can actually harvest her, other bony sort of protrusions. You know, whatever those are, whatever equivalent. I wonder if you can trim her teeth, I guess you might say. And then do I highlight this? Do I make this obvious for myself? I kind of like this as like a secret base, you know? Secret from whom? From whom, you ask? Not like I know. Skulk. Skulk. Okay, sure. Sure, I'll skulk a bit. You know, I'll skulk around. Me and skulking are like girl best friends. Yeah, so that's exactly what I was thinking about, is like, and then now that's a source block. So I'll harvest and collect at the same time, but that hasn't messed up that, so that's good. So I think it'll have to be from the top down. But then the other thing I'm trying to figure out is, well, I mean, it comes down to what can I get away with. You know, I might be able to find some ways to phrase it more politely. But that is really the question I'm asking. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Okay, well, great. That's not what I was hoping for. That's the last thing that I was hoping for. Okay, that's not what was supposed to happen. You know, my poor girlfriend. You know, she's just trying to have a good time, being a cosmic horror, eldritch entity sort of thing. You know, and you're just making it really hard for her, and I don't appreciate that. It makes me kind of sad, to be honest. You know, this is real sadness in my voice. real yearning and longliness, whatever, you know, words. I'm just a little disappointed in you non-poison spiders. Okay, whatever. Look. I want this one. Can I get there? My computer is acting very slow right now. Last priority, absolute last priority, dead last priority is dealing with that zombie. I don't care. I wanted to finish that harvest. That was the only thing I was trying to do while I'm up here, because as soon as I grab that, I can get out of here. Come on, come on, get out. Get out. Go. Oh, can she carry it home? Can she carry it home? Because the thing is, the water then drags everything away from that point. Huh. That's cool. I didn't know you could, like, harvest those like that. Huh. But yeah, the other thing I'm trying to figure out is, can I actually now, I mean, I did explore this area in peaceful mode, you know? So I'm wondering if the, you know... Because when you go into the water temple, right? The submerged temple, there's this mechanic where if you ever go there in peaceful mode, then you stop being able to see the Elder Guardian. It's a little frustrating and limiting, but it is what it is. Do I have more bones? No, I don't have any more bones. And then I have 6 arrows, so that's something. Okay, so I have something to defend myself with. I have some bamboo down here, so that's good. I can probably survive the dash upstairs. But I probably want more food. Probably want a lot more food, actually. This is going to be tricky. Okay, that's what I was looking for, because that doesn't add anything to my inventory space. And then this. And then this. Do I have any more food? I have the hay bale. You know what? If I'm going to make more... No, I can't make that without a crafting table. Irritating. Extremely irritating. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all kinds of things, you know, eat all kinds of food items, probably, you know, if that's something you do instead of photosynthesizing, you sick freaks, to be honest. I've got a Patreon if you feel like throwing me $1. Thank you, as always, to my long-term supporter on there, Sasha. Remember, no matter who you are, no matter what you're going through, no matter what your situation in life, you know, no matter what geopolitical conflicts are looming on the horizon of your immediate future, it is always Tuesday. And have a great day.